All right, what is up, everybody? This is Z with the Catan, back with another ranked game for you. And today we were in the second position with the black pieces. And this is going to be a little bit of a different video. I had something go wrong with the audio, but this was such a good and fun game, and I would like to just post it anyway. So I was going to walk you guys through kind of my thoughts and just overall, I guess just what was going through my head, especially during the placements. It then kind of take you through like how this game kind of went, especially at the end. So when we look at this board, there's no like absolute best spot besides maybe the one that red took. And so red went ahead and went with that 10-5-8, which is probably the best spot and easily the most production. So if we kind of analyze this further, there are 3 spots on the board with 10 points of overall production. That being the 4-3-6 over here on the right with the ore, the brick, and the wood. And then also the 6-4-3 on the left with the sheep and wood and wheat. And the other spot is the 8-3-10 with the best wheat. And that ended up being the spot that I went for. And there were kind of a couple reasons for this. One being, the main being that this was easily the best wheat on the board, and it wasn't even close. I mean, it's a weird board when you have the wheat as a 12 and a 2. I mean, that's just it. Then the other one's a 3, so there's just going to be hardly any wheat on the board coming in at all. But we'll kind of see where these, where red and orange also place here, and I think red did a great job. They took the next best spot, in my opinion, that being the 6-4-3. But they went with the 6-4-3 with the 3 wheat instead of the 3 brick. And generally speaking, wheat is a very strong, probably the strongest resource out of the 5, and because it can go through, it's used in settlements, development cards, and cities. So wheat is definitely the most used and most important. So thinking about through this though, then the other thought is like, where am I going to go next? So while I'm picking this, I'm like, I know that I'm probably going to be playing an ore wheat sheep game, and ore wheat sheep is basically you just have ore, wheat, and sheep, as the name sounds, but you're really focusing on those, and you're focusing on building cities quick. It then buying as many development cards as you can, and really those games can turn out to be really fun and exciting because you can get a lot of VPs. You'll probably take largest army. Then you'll have cities as well. So as long as your production is solid, then the rolls you are getting are good. You can really win some fast games, honestly. I think the quickest games are the ore wheat sheep games where guys are just getting a ton of rolls. They're buying development cards like every round, getting 3 knights, then getting a couple VPs, and it's over. But as we can see here, so red went with that 6 sheep spot. Then orange went with kind of an interesting play, but they took the 9-5-10, which is a very strong. I don't think I mentioned that before. Somehow I skipped that. But that is 11 points of production. And so that was the second best producing spot on the board. And that, I think, is where red messed up. I think red should have probably went there. It then combined it with the 6-4-3, but red should have went on the 9-5-10 first. And either one of the 6-4-3s would have been good. Because I'm not a big fan of doing only settling on 6-4-3 spots. I mean, if it's rolling, then it's great, but you're really just kind of testing your luck there. I would rather kind of build on other spots and just try to go from there. So here, so red takes the last ore, and that would have been the best spot for me. The 9-4-11 would have been huge. So in my mind, I have to get on some ore. And the only ore spot left, as I just started talking about, so I'll be on 2 8s and 2 3s, and I just said not to do that. But in this case, I had to do it. There was nothing else I could really do. There were no other ore spots open. And that's just kind of what it came down to. And I do start on a 3-to-1 port, which, so like an ore wheat sheep setup, you always want a port because you just never know what numbers are going to be rolling. And you might have an abundance of one resource like sheep that you can't really do a whole lot with, and so it's always good to have some sort of port, a 3-to-1, or like an ore port, a wheat port, or a sheep port, one of those. So, and then jump into where blue went here. I think blue messed up here, because in their setup, I felt like they probably should have went on this 8-4 down on the left, and they ended up making a kind of a weird choice that you'll see here soon. But they ended up going on the 6-11-12. I guess just with the idea that eventually they will get on the sheep port, and it really is a strong setup. And they got out to a really hot start here, them and red. And then it kind of evened back out. But, when you're the only people with brick and wood, that's what it's just going to happen. So you're going to have a really strong start, and then it's going to kind of slowly kind of lose. So, but just kind of looking forward, I will come back and kind of finish this video out at the end of the game, and we'll talk about it there. Okay, and we are back for the crazy finish that this was. So what ended up happening is red, and basically everyone got super close to winning, and it ended up being so. What was going on in the chat is really interesting. Blue had the idea that they could plow me there, which is so true, and that actually would have helped them win the game, because I ended up rolling a 7 here at the end. Like otherwise I would have had it easily, but I would have had to think a little bit more. And I also had a year of plenty. So, I mean, really, I think I would have won anyway. Actually, counting the numbers, I would have easily won either way. But I was really worried here, though, because they were red and orange were kind of hopping on blue's train of like, hey, we can help you plow. But in my mind, I'm like, they've got a chance. I mean, blue's got a chance to win this right here. Like, if they take road and build a settlement, that's game over, right? But thankfully, that's not what ended up happening. We ended up just building a settlement with my year of plenty, and ended up taking the win. So this was a lot of fun. So weird that the audio kicked out. I'm really sorry for that, but either way, hope you guys can enjoy and still get something out, especially out of the placements. That's really where you learn the most here in Catan. So. But just you're looking over the die stats, there wasn't even that many 8s and 3s, and I still won that game. So that is crazy. And there were a lot of 10s, though, which was my only sheep throughout the game and my only resource to really buy development cards. So, and we did end up getting the most resources. I ended up getting a lot of 8s towards the end of the game when I had like 3 cities on the 8s. So that made a huge difference. There wasn't that many dev cards bought, and yeah, it just turned out to be a pretty fun and interesting game where, I think everyone was at 7 there, besides me, and it was getting tough to know who to block. But you got to look at who has dev cards, who doesn't. Who has the most space, maybe who's closest to taking road and stuff like that. But after this game, we ended on 60th place in the U.S., so excited to keep going. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see some more. So thanks. See you in the next one.